Welcome to the Coherent Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Jemima House. Today's episode is titled End Stage Capitalism is Dying. What comes next in leadership? You will only have to have one eye half open to current events, to the doom scroll, to understand what I mean by end stage capitalism is dying. Today we're going to take probably the only sane position there is when in environments such as the present day, right now, and that is the inner stance. There's a really amazing quote by Ram Dass that I love, where he says that the biggest service you can offer to anybody else is to sort your own shit out. Now, I fully stand behind that because how many times have you encountered someone who maybe is reactive or who is just generally dysfunctional in the way that they communicate or connect, and think, wow, if you just took a minute just to look at yourself and do a little bit of soul searching, do a little bit of inner reflection, things could be so different. Anyway, I have been doing that inner work for a very long time, and I know that it changes the outcomes of interactions. It changes the depth of relationships. It changes the ease with which we navigate life. So that's exactly what I'm going to target in this episode. And it's no way because I'm going to offer you some kind of leadership framework. I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is coming because the world that we're in right now is asking a lot from us. And the systems that are in place, specifically in the workplace, are failing. They're straining under the weight of what they're being asked to do because they were not built for this time. They were built in a previous time and things are changing. So the only thing that we have power to change immediately is what's happening internally and within our own leadership, the way that allows us to show up. So today I want to offer you two things that you can do this week that don't target the system or anybody else, but they create clarity and presence and coherence within yourself and in the way that you lead. And by doing that, you'll start to see the shifts in the world outside of you. It's not theory. It's not conceptual. I have done this. I never teach anything that I haven't done myself. And it's about action. It's about the kind of action that starts inside of you and radiates outwards. Because leaders who feel restricted or trapped and who see what isn't working, who have a little bit of entrepreneurial mindset and spirit already, these kind of leaders know that they can't wait for the system to change. They have to start changing how they lead right now. So here's the first action step, number 1 of 2. I lovingly refer to it as saying the thing, and I have been private coaching around this particular item for many years. This week, in your next meeting, I want you to begin by acknowledging the reality of the system that you exist in. The elephant in the room, the thing that everybody is thinking about but nobody is articulating. I want you to speak it. That's it. That's your action. I want you to speak it because I don't want you to underestimate the power in speaking on things that other people are thinking, and how much relief and ease that creates just by being the person who will actually say it. This is the same in relationships, by the way. But I won't digress. Okay, so that's action number 1, say the thing. And the outcome of that might not look dramatic. So you might notice it's a bit of a challenge for you to do, because there's a reason why not everyone does this. Not everyone says the uncomfortable thing. But as a leader, you do the brave thing. And something I remembered last week is that being brave, it doesn't mean that you're not afraid. It just means that you will do it anyway. And I think that's the key point about leading, is you understand what needs to be done and you do it. So the outcomes may be subtle in terms of what you see outside of you. You might not notice a flood of change immediately in your team or your organization, but you will feel what you've done. And that's the signal you need. Because leadership begins here, in the way that you move, the way that you think, and the way that you act, so that other people can see. The second action is about reclaiming your energy. And here I want to bring in another one of my favourites, which is an Alan Watts talk, where he speaks about the endless list of pros and cons. He says that generally we already know the answer. Our inner wisdom knows. It's just that our minds prefer if we make a list of pros and cons in case it has to justify the decision. So this week, based on this, I want you to look at your diary and I want you to identify one entry that is draining your energy. Perhaps you're thinking about it, maybe you're preparing for it, or maybe you're trying to measure all the variables. I'm going to suggest you act on the belief that you already know. Imagine if you already know what you need to do, how would that change things? So your conditioning is asking for an endless list of pros and cons, but your inner wisdom already knows. So make a quick decision on that one entry. Delegate it, get rid of it. Or prepare to do what you know needs to be done. Because all energy that gets lost in indecision is wasted. Keeping open loops is such a drain on our energy. And that means that we have less energy to put towards the things that we know make a positive difference. So measure your decision against your own internal compass. There are too many variables for you to use external factors to make decisions. You decide. You know, back yourself. It's not the system's expectations that you need to satisfy. It's yourself. This is a really high leverage move. It's micro action leadership. One decision that frees your energy. One choice that aligns your presence with your purpose. And this is starting to model what a new way of leading looks like. A coherent way, a human way. So that's it. Those are your 2 actions, 2 ways to start leading differently this week, even in a system that feels broken or not fit for purpose. Number 1, say the thing, name the reality that everyone is thinking but nobody is saying. And number 2, remove friction by making a decision about something that is draining your energy, guided by your inner wisdom. Do these, notice how your energy changes, notice how much clarity appears in places that used to feel muddy or stuck. And notice how your presence becomes contagious. This is one of my favourite bits. Even when the systems around you are rigid or failing, you get to be the person who starts to bring the change. End stage capitalism is dying. The old ways of leading are breaking down. And what comes next isn't something that somebody else is going to give you, like a really neat blueprint. It starts with you, with the choices that you make right now. We're building the plane as we fly it. It's scary, but it's also very exciting. Thank you for listening, and I will be back here same time next week. Bye for now.